What's happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. We have an overview of the Elite Tactical Traverse to do. This is going to be just an overview. Now, I have been carrying this knife, using this knife, testing this knife, so there will be a short-term review coming very soon of this guy. I just started working with a company, Sharper Edges. They have a website, sharperedges.com. They are an affiliate of mine. I will have links to their website and that sort of thing, hopefully in this video in the description. If not, in the future there will be. They tend to fall on the side of more budget-ended knives. They have tactical knives, EDC knives, they have bushcraft items, they have throwing knives, all kinds of different things. And they also have some premium knives as well, you know, in the $100+ range. So they have quite the variety on their website. This one falls right at that $30 price point. And so far, this has been a great $30 knife. So we'll start with the blade here. You have a modified Wharncliffe or drop point blade, kind of depends on how you look at it. It's a modified Wharncliffe, it's a modified drop point. It is a satin blade with D2 steel, as you can see right there. The main gripe I had with the group of knives that I received from them was the branding, which, you know, it comes with the territory. I wish they would do that elsewhere, maybe on the pivot or even smaller. Just give us the little bullseye and put it up here in the corner. Something like that. We don't need the name of the knife on the back. Just give us the steel marking. We don't need the China. We know it's from China. Just give us D2 back here and leave it nice and clean. You know, you already have the bullseye there. I would leave it at that and be done. And then put the D2 there. Leave the show side clean. And then you have a, you know, it's a good looking knife. But minus that, you have an extremely good looking knife for $30. So that was my main gripe with the knife. So far as mechanics, as far as the edge, the steel, the handle material, everything else has been very good for $30. You have dual thumb studs for your deployment method. You have this little harpoon swedge type deal here where you can kind of rest your thumb while using it. The sharpening choil is not bad. You're going to get a little bit of sharpening life out of this guy before you get a smile, which for a $30 knife, you know, that's pretty good. It is a crossbar style lock, and I have to say, it's very comfortable to manipulate. You get a nice little bit of a cone here on both sides, which really grab your fingers and make it very easy to manipulate, open and close. You can even use that to open it if you would like. Just pull down and kind of flick it out. It works very well. For a $30 crossbar lock, I've been pretty impressed. I've really been hard on this knife, and it still looks very good. The handle material is FRN, and it seems very well finished. You have satin hardware. You have a deep carry rollover clip. It's not recessed. The screws aren't recessed. That's another thing I would look for, at least recessing the screws. That way it gives you a definite amount of clearance in there. Now, I have not experienced any issues, but if you do have thicker pants, like wintertime style Carhartt pants or something, you might have an issue. But as far as jeans or like khaki shorts or your typical sweatpants or shorts, this is going to go in pretty easy, come out pretty easy. It's got good retention. I like how it doesn't spoon over. It just comes up, and it's a very short up as well. So it doesn't affect the ergonomics. I have no problem squeezing this knife very hard and not having a single issue anywhere with it. Even though there's no backspacer, it's open construction, it's actually relatively comfortable squeezing it. So that's another thing that's impressive with this thing is I like being able to really squeeze a knife and it not hurt my hand anywhere. And for the most part, this does very well at that. Being ergonomic, being comfortable. It's for 30 bucks. I'm going to keep saying it. For 30 bucks, it's been very good. You have blue anodized barrel spacers back here. I could take or leave those. It gives it a little pop of color, but maybe if there was other thing, you know, if this was gone and this was gone, I could maybe, you know, it looks all right. I could do without it though, probably. It does give it a little something. Maybe it would be nice if they included a satin pair as well in case you wanted to switch that over. But my recommendation, if they were to watch this, would be, you know, eliminate the branding on the show side for sure. You know, you already have your logo there on the pocket clip, which is fine. I would leave it at that. And if you're going to put the name on the knife, give it to us real small. Down here by the tang, include the steel with it. You know, get rid of the china and just kind of move everything down here and make it a little smaller. It just makes it look so much cleaner. I can't express that enough to these companies, how much cleaner that blade would look without that there. I mean, it looks way better. And then, yeah, you know, it just, the aesthetic gets taken away from when you have that on the front of the blade. So as far as ergonomics, it's great. Materials, they're good. For the $30 price point, they are good. Why don't we hop into a few comparisons? We have the CJRB Echo here, which is very close in size. We have the CJRB Pyrite, which is also very close in size, a little smaller. The Echo is also a little smaller. How about we get a big boy out here for reference? This is the Vosteed Gator, and that bad boy is massive, 4-inch blade. How about the Kaiser Torngat? That is a little bigger, but that's relatively close as well. Here is the brand new Petrified Fish Viking, which I am a huge fan of the new Petrified Fish Viking. This is coming in under $50, guys, and it is absolutely stunning. Nothing on the blade. You have a little PF on the pivot, looks fine to me. Nothing on the clip side. All you have, I believe it's there somewhere. Oh, it's really small down here. K110 down there by the tang. That's how it's done. Right there. I would rather have it on the clip side, but you don't see it. So, I mean, you know, you got to be looking for it. So, Petrified Fish is doing a great job with all of that. Here is the Kunwu S-Tau. And we'll do one more. That's relatively close as well. And we'll do a small guy here. Cold Steel Tough Light. So that should give you a pretty good idea as to the size of this guy. As far as profile thickness, it's really not, it's an average thickness because of the steel liners, because of the crossbar. You have really thick slabs of FRN, and it feels good in hand. It fills the hand out. The CJRB's a little thinner than this guy, but like I said, for a workhorse style knife, this is actually, it feels good in hand, especially if you have a little bit bigger hands. It definitely feels very good. So as far as action, the action is good. You can thumb flick it out, reverse flick it out. There has been no issues with, it's pretty solid. There's no up and down play. There's no side to side play. I mean, even if I really crank on it, there's no movement in there. And for a crossbar lock, that's good. There's literally, and I'm cranking on it, there's no movement in there, which I can really appreciate. And that's after me beating on this thing for a little while now. And the other thing that I've been impressed with too is how the edge came and how the edge has held up. It's been very good. Could it be sharper? Of course, but it came, this is after use, this is factory edge here, and it came pretty good. I have no complaints about it at all. Let me see if we can get a good one in here. But, you know, that's pretty good. I have no complaints with the edge. I have no complaints with how the steel has held up. I live in a pretty humid area, and the blade still looks great. Even after all the use that it's had, it still looks awesome. So I have absolutely no complaints with how it's built, the material choices, the ergonomics, the lockup, the lock itself. My main issues are aesthetic issues, and that's the bulk of it. We will be doing a short-term review and delving into this a little bit more. But like I said, my main issues with this thing are aesthetics. As far as hardware, so they went T8 on the pivot, good job on that, and T6 on the rest. That would be my other, that would be another complaint or something that I would change, which is something I always say. There's absolutely no reason not to just give us T8s there on the body and clip. These days, just do T8s all the way around. That way you're using one bit. You know, they might not understand that or might not keep that in mind, but if you make all the screws one size, it's so much easier for the user to do maintenance, do a disassembly, to keep things tightened up. You only got to keep one bit. So it just helps out the user. And it shouldn't be any more money. It shouldn't make any more difference with the knife to give us the T8s. The only thing, like I said, would be to recess them screws. And if you wanted to go the extra mile, recess the clip too. You know, just mill out a little bit of the scale, recess that clip, put some flathead, you know, some flat top screws in there, and you're rolling. So those are some small nitpicks. You know, we got to keep $30 knife in mind, but remove some branding, recess that clip and the screws, and you're rolling with this thing. It's a banger for 30 bucks. So that will, oh, we can do weight, but that, I don't have much to complain about with this knife. And trust me, guys, I looked for things not to like about it. You know, I tried 3 3/4 ounces, not bad. It is a little weighty bugger. You know, we already kind of went over all that, but you're getting 3 1/4 on the blade for total from tip to scale here. And then you're at 7 3/4 overall. So, you know, ratio, guys, it's not bad at all. They don't have any internal milling, which I think, you know, that would really alleviate some of the weight issues. As far as balance, it's definitely scale heavy. Not bad, but if they lightened it up back here a little bit with some milling, it would be an even better little $30 knife. But for the guys who are looking for $30, $40 knives, they don't want to spend 50, 60, 70 bucks. I get it. I really do. And they're looking for a good $30 knife because there's tons of junk in the $20, $30, $40 range. But there are also hidden gems in those price points. You know, you might not think you're going to get a $50 knife that's any good, but you really can these days. You can get a phenomenal $50 knife these days. Can you get garbage? Yes, you can. But there are gems in each price point, even going down to $20. There are gems, and I plan on bringing those to light. $30 gems, $40 gems. I plan on bringing those all to light. I get tons of guys always asking me about, you know, can I do videos on $30 knives, $40 knives, $50 knives, you know, $20 knives. And I plan on doing that. The more I can work with this company, the more I plan on implementing those kinds of things in there. And I will be trying to acquire some with my own money as well. But I can only get so many of them. That'll do it for this one, guys. If you're still here, thank you. I love you. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below the video. I would love to have you here. Have a good night, guys.